I'm Brett, and I've developed a new, simple, modern spiritual philosophy. And in this series of videos, I'd like to tell you all about it. So stay tuned, and if you like what you're hearing, tell other people about it, comment, ask me questions, and we'll go forward from there. Thank you very much. Hello, and welcome back to You Know Yourself with me, Brett. So, in this episode, I'm going to look at the vulnerability or the accusation or the proposition that I am using the phrase, they're just observations, and question whether or not there's validity to that or whether it's just a defense mechanism that I'm using so that if somebody should scrutinize what I'm saying, then I can sort of hide behind it. Yeah. And so the question is, which one am I doing? Am I putting forward observations and stepping back from them? Or am I, through saying that phrase and through saying that, am I creating a sort of defensive wall that I can hide behind? So let's maybe clarify some of that proposition a little bit by because I'm not just making observations, am I? Because observations are silent. Observations don't get communicated to the world. Observations are an internal processing that goes on. I'm making observations and publishing them out to the world, which leaves them open to interpretation, which I'm fine about, I think. I don't know, maybe I need to look into that. But these are not just observations, are they? But they're observations that I'm labeling as observations. I've put that label on them. But like I say, they're not just observations, are they? They are observations that I have solidified in some way by speaking them and by then publishing them out in whatever format that may be. Yeah. And so those out there published observations, are they just plain observations, or are they, well, we're not talking about the observations, we're talking about the phrase that I'm using when I say that they are just observations. Is that a phrase that is philosophically correct, or is it a defense mechanism that I'm using for when or if scrutiny comes knocking on the door? So, okay, so one idea to think about with it being, so let's look at the it's a defense proposition. I could be putting forward the idea that these are observations and using that as a defense mechanism, because when scrutiny comes, there's, as I say, there's automatically like a defense mechanism there of, well, these are just observations, they're for you to do whatever you want with. If you're scrutinizing them and they don't, and they come out not favorably for you, that's fine. That's for you to decide. It's for you to critique these observations that I'm putting forward. So therefore your attack is null and void because I've just put them out there as ideas. Yeah. Yeah, they're just ideas that I'm putting out for you to critique. So your critiquing of it and scrutiny of it is what I wanted or what it was there to do anyway. So that's great. So your critique of it is null, and your scrutiny of it is proof that what I'm saying has validity. I mean, there's an automatic defense there, which makes any scrutiny of it sort of bounce off and leaves me impervious to it, and means that I don't have to scrutinize it myself, because, well, whatever you're coming to me with is the point of me putting this forward as an observation, if that makes sense. I acknowledge that just saying these are just observations is a defensive mechanism, which means that any scrutiny can bounce off because I am not allegedly putting it down as a fixed idea. But of course, there is an element of it being fixed and solid, because it's been put down as an idea. So by publishing it and stating it, I have fixed these ideas in some respect. So yeah, of course there's a defensive element to it. Of course the insecure, scared little boy inside me that wants to be validated by somebody saying, oh wow, these ideas are really great, has automatically created a defense mechanism so that that little scared, insecure little boy can't be attacked and can't be prodded and critiqued in some way and scrutinized in some way, because I'm human. I'm not trying to claim that I'm better than. I'm not trying to claim that I'm fixed and that I'm cured and do what I do, because that will make you fixed and cured like me. I am not fixed and cured. I am an everyday human being with emotional issues and complex issues that I have not fixed, and that I need to continue working on moment to moment when they come up. Because perhaps there is no fixed, perhaps there is no, I used to have an issue, now I don't. Perhaps there's just constant moment to moment realization of what's coming up and working with it and trying to accept it and move forward, and all that other stuff which you can find out about for yourself and research for yourself. So yeah, of course. And these are not, like I say, these are not neutral observations. There's nothing neutral about what I'm doing. There's nothing silent about what I'm doing in terms of making an observation, because here I am sat in front of a video recorder and a microphone, sort of assuming that at some point somebody might actually listen to this. So they are not just observations, are they? They are observations that I've then chosen to communicate to the world. So that's something about the argument of why they are defensive. What about the counterpoint of view, which says, yeah, they are just observations? Well, the above, what I've said before is true and valid, but perhaps there is some counterpoints of view, and perhaps I'm trying to make the distinction between observations and instructions. So perhaps part of what I'm trying to say when I say these are just observations is these are just observations that I'm making, that I'm presenting to you for you to critique and scrutinize yourself and find out for yourself what you think about them. Again, I keep coming back to this idea that that's why it's called You Know Yourself. I'm putting forward these observations and saying, hey, what do you think about these? Do these have any application in your life? Is this in any way helpful to you? And if so, great. And if not, that's also great. Then do what you want with them. Use them, don't use them, throw them away, rubbish them, whatever you choose to do with it. Because they are not instructions. It is not me saying, you must do this, you should do this. If you do this, you'll get this particular outcome. If you're looking to fix this particular element of your life, then you absolutely need to do this. That is not what I'm saying. And I pause there because I'm just trying to think for certain, and I'm trying to inquire within myself about whether or not that's what I'm trying to say. I don't know if a society of empowered people that are exercising their body, mind, soul and spirit will create some other different sort of society than what we have right now. I don't know that. And I'm certainly not proposing the idea that if you do exercising of your body, mind, soul and spirit, then it will create this type of society that I'm about to describe. I'm not saying that. I don't know what it will create as an outcome, if indeed it will create any sort of outcome at all. I am proposing the idea that I don't observe, see, an observation. I don't observe that the society that we have, which potentially is only a reflection of the individuals that are within it, perhaps society is just made up of and a reflection of the individuals that are in it. I don't see that the society that we have is one that is I'm trying to search for the word, useful maybe. So I certainly don't think it's fulfilling. I certainly don't think the societies that we have are fulfilling the potentials that we have as the possibility of a society that is the reflection of the individuals that are within it. I don't observe that a society that still suffers from war, famine, poverty, and all the other ills of society, I don't see that as a great result. I'm not looking at that and going, we're doing really well here, everyone. This is really great. Let's just keep doing what we're doing. I'm looking at it and going, we're not really doing very well at all. And if anything, I mean, am I the only person who thinks, can we just stop this and see what else we can come up with? Because this is not great. This is not a great end result. If society is the reflection of the people that are in it, then we're clearly not doing very well, because we are still suffering from even just looking at the basics of war, poverty and suffering. That is not, let alone going within the details of what goes on a day-to-day basis. We're simply not doing very well. That is my observation. My observation is, I don't think we're doing very well, and I think we could do a lot better. And I wonder if one of the things that would help us do a lot better is if we were to become more empowered to exercise the functioning parts of our being, our body, mind, soul and spirit. I'm wondering about that. I'm asking that question. I don't have a fixed outcome as to what that society would look like. I don't have an instruction. I don't have an end point. I don't have a do these things, do exercising of your body, mind, soul and spirit, and then we'll end up with this sort of society. That's not what I'm proposing or putting forward at all. So So let's try and wrap this up, because some of the other episodes have been a bit long and I'm very conscious of that. I acknowledge that without a doubt the scared little boy in me that's desperate for validation is also possibly maybe a little bit clever, and he's very quick at creating a defense mechanism for any potential attacks that might come in. And these are just observations is a potential defense mechanism for scrutiny and critique that might come in. And at the same time, it's an objective fact, I want to say, but it's not quite an objective fact, is it? There's an objective reality to the idea that I am making observations, and I'm saying what I see when I look out is disempowered people and the society that is a reflection of those disempowered followers, and the cycle that keeps them disempowered by the leaders trying to create a cure for all that disempowerment, but only actually continuing to perpetuate the disempowerment by, ironically, the offering of the all-encompassing cure that they bring. No leader ever says, I've got the solution. The solution is a program which means you end up not needing me. No leader ever says that. Every leader says, my observation is that every leader says, I've got the cure, come and follow me and do what I tell you to do, and keep doing it. That in its very nature is disempowering, which then creates disempowered followers, which then reflects itself in society, in the society which I'm not asking you to even scratch away at the surface. Look at what is going. I mean, maybe I'm saying I'm making observations because I'm inviting you to make observations as well. Look around you. Simply look at what's going on around you. Walk through your town and cities. Look at yourself. Are you empowered? Are you functioning at the highest possible functionality and ability that you have within your body, mind, soul, and spirit, according to the definitions that I give of body, mind, soul, and spirit, which are open for you to critique? These are observations. I observe that possibly the body, mind, soul, and spirit is made up in the ways that I've described in previous videos. I observe that society is not. It's not even good. It's not. I was going to say it's not great. It's not even good. It's barely functioning. It's barely functioning. It's maybe not even functioning. That's the point. Maybe that's the point. Maybe the observation I'm making is we're not functioning human beings with a non-functioning society. And for me to say it's an observation is a defensive mechanism for me to hide behind for when you come and critique it. And at the same time, it is also an objective reality. I'm observing. I am looking out and going, this is what I see. What I see is a non-functioning society, as defined, and I define it as non-functioning because we're still suffering from, on a basic level, war, poverty, famine, etc., etc. It's not that hard to see that stuff. It's out there. It's right out there. So, yes. Perhaps it's both. Perhaps the answer is always that it's both. That these are just observations is both a defensive mechanism and an objective reality that's an objective claim that I'm making. thank you very much for watching these videos if you are, and I'll catch you all soon. Cheers. Bye bye.